Hello, everybody. I'm Patti Patane. Meet the power of intelligent conversation. This is a program called What Have You Done for Us Lately? You ever asked a politician that? What have you done for us lately? Well, I'd like to know. And as a result of my wanting to know what you have done for us lately, I have invited our state senator, Jeff Stone. He represents this area from Murrieta down to Blythe? No. Yes?
Yes.
Murrieta, that's a big...
All the way to Riverside.
All over the place.
Yes.
Big district.
Yes.
Every month, yes, every month, Senator Stone's office puts out something called the Stone Sentinel. Very clever. Who came up with that?
Well, I have John Hunneman, who's my communications director, and the high school that I graduated, it was called the Sentinel newspaper, and kind of started with an S, so we thought it would make sense.
How cute.
Yeah.
So basically what it is, it's an online, at your website, report that tells everybody what you're doing, what you're getting paid for, what your staff is getting paid for. Basically, you're telling us what you're doing for us.
Correct.
I'd like some specifics, Senator, if I could. First and foremost, something caught my eye. Your first page in your Sentinel Stone says that you ask the questions and you favor bills that are going to improve the lives of working families, lessen the burden on small business owners, and help all the children of California obtain a world-class education. That you vote against proposed laws that will continue to drive businesses out of the state and that spend taxpayers' dollars recklessly. That all sounds really nice, as businesses in California are flooding out of here and into Texas. Thank you very much, Governor Perry, who came to get a few of them here.
Yes,
that's a problem. And how do you intend to fix this? I mean, let's get real.
Mm-hmm.
You were just elected.
Mm-hmm.
You're a freshman senator.
Mm-hmm.
First year.
Correct.
You are in a minority party. You happen to be a Republican in the state of California Senate, which is majority is Democratic.
Correct.
You had a great history. I mean, you know, you served how many years as supervisor in Riverside County?
10 years.
10 years as supervisor. Prior to that?
12 years on the Temecula City Council.
Got a little experience.
Yes.
And prior to that, you were, take this, ladies and gentlemen, the man was a businessman. He owned a business. It is Doctor.
I still do.
Oh.
I still own my pharmacy. I still operate a pharmacy.
Really?
I haven't stopped.
I'm even more impressed now.
Yeah, thank you.
Here is a business owner, doctorate, pharmacy, you're a pharmacist.
Yes.
You help a lot of people, you always have. So you understand the government regulations that force themselves upon small business, big business, and particularly big business that says, I'm done, I'm finished with California, I'm out of here. Freshman senator, minority, how in the world can you get anything done? You got great experience. How can you get it done?
Well, you know, over the past 22 years when I was in local government, I worked with Democrats, Republicans, Independents. And you have to develop relationships with people, and you got to develop trust. And so what I've done in Sacramento is I've reached out to Democrats. I've had coffee with them. I work with them. I understand what their goals and motivations are. I know what my goals and motivations are, and I try to find areas where we agree on things. And we'll passionately disagree on things, but I demand that we do it with respect and collegiality. And I've also gotten involved in some caucuses. I got involved in...
Okay, what does that mean?
Caucuses are groups of people that share similar ideas. So I'm a part of the mental health caucus. I use my medical background because we have a lot of mental illness that goes untreated, which causes a lot of homelessness. A lot of people that are in our institutions, our jails, are mentally ill people that need treatment. And so if we don't start getting at the core of some of these problems, we're not going to cure society's ills.
Well, I have a personal family history in manic depressive. Okay. It's no secret I've been medicated for 35 years. I was lucky. It was diagnosed in time, and wasn't so lucky for my family members. They are no longer with us because of this. So it's a serious, it's one of my rabid, passionate things. So you want to do a program on mental health, you come on down, you let me know, we'll devote it totally to mental health, because it is such a problem and so misunderstood, even though there are a lot of people coming out and saying, I did this, I did that, yeah. Well, unless you've been to the depths, to the absolute depths of that abyss, you do not have a clue.
Well, I lived it firsthand with my mother. My mother was a depressive, my grandmother was a depressive, and so that's why I've been actively involved in the National Association of Mental Illness, NAMI, to reduce the stigma of people that have mental illness. But we have a lot of people in the state that aren't getting the services that they need, and it's not because we don't have enough money. It's just that we're wasteful in the state. And I want to give you just two quick examples. We have 3 state hospitals left: Sonoma, Fairview in Costa Mesa, and Porterville, where we have a lot of the criminally insane people. But in in Sonoma and in Costa Mesa, Fairview, we have 800 patients, and the state is spending $500 million a year on 800 patients, which is about $560,000 a patient. And so while I've been a strong advocate for the mentally ill, I said to the state legislature, we need to close these institutions down and put these people in the community where they do better at a cost of $20,000, and think of all the people that we'd be able to help if we use that money to help people that are not getting services today.
Sounds fabulous. How you doing?
So I wrote a bill, okay, which ultimately became a 2-year bill because the senator from Sonoma was very upset because the Sonoma facility is our largest employer in Sonoma County.
Politics.
Right? However, with his recommendations, we made it a 2-year bill, but the governor in his May revised put in there, we're closing Sonoma in 2018. So it was my bill that brought out the waste that the taxpayers are spending on these programs when we have better programs we can invest in. And the governor, which I've got to give him a lot of credit, he's a fiscal shrewd guy, he's a hawk. He saw the problem, and because of our bill, he put it in his May revised to close that center and put that money in the better use of regional centers that will spend it more appropriately.
Will that happen?
Yes.
It's law now.
It's in the budget.
Oh.
The budget formally may get approved Monday. We'll see. That's our statutory deadline.
All right. Well, you'll come back and tell us how all this worked out. But mental health, you and I are going to do, I promise, we'll do a whole half hour on mental health.
Sure.
Okay? You hold me to
Very
that.
important.
Your staff is listening. Make a note, please. Okay. So you're trying to do all these good things. You have a good background for the mental health. You have a good background for business. You have a good background for knowing that business can be taxed and taxed and taxed and regulated until they're out of here. Do your fellow senators, Democrats and Republicans, do they believe this way, or are they just mouthing it and saying, yeah, well, yeah, whatever?
You know, the Republicans, I have to tell you, they're very pro-business, and they understand why businesses are leaving the state. I have to tell you that many of the Democrats, at least in the Senate, they kind of live in a bubble in Sacramento where they just feel that they can just continually overregulate, they can continually tax. They think that businesses are nothing but deep pockets, that they just keep writing checks. And I think if there's any example that we learned with the Tesla battery factory going across the border to Reno, is that we compete now on a national and global market. And we should have done everything we could. We should have rolled out the red carpet, made that company feel important. 10,000 jobs, which would have gone a long way to keeping our unemployment numbers from going up and hopefully going down. But I still see bills to raise fees on private businesses, especially small businesses, over-regulating them. And even in water, we want to regulate even the groundwater to the point where it's gotten ridiculous. I mean, look at chromium-6 here. We have aquifers here in the Coachella Valley where we have chromium-6 that the state decided they want to exceed the federal standard, and it's going to cost now the local water districts in this valley $50 million to try to come up with some technology to bring out the chromium-6, which has never been shown in the concentrations that exist in ambient water to cause any problems. It's just wasteful. Wasteful money instead of finding ways in which we can get more water to the tap. We need more water at the tap, not
Okay.
water quality.
Do you know
overdone.
a single senator who is a Democrat who believes the way you do?
Yes,
Good.
there is.
I'll tell you what, have your staff send me his name.
Sure.
And I will invite him to come and talk to me.
I would like that.
Okay?
Sure.
All right. We'll go through the same thing with him I'm going through with you. Here's another good one. I like this one a lot. Right to try. We're going to put that up here. Right to try. It is a proposed law that you personally created, and I'm going to read this. It comes off the Stone Sentinel, which will give terminally ill Californians the chance to try drugs and treatments that have been safely tested but not yet approved by the FDA. What if you're just like, if you're just dying and you can say, hey, the hell with the safety thing, let's bring it on. I know I'd feel that way. I had a little scare not too long ago, and if I had needed treatment, let me tell you, come on, bring it down. I mean, you're a pharmacist, make something up for me, help me out here, I got nothing to lose. So is basically this right to try proposed law, how you doing with that?
We're doing good. It passed out of all of its committees unanimously. And just to let you know that the FDA, when you propose a new drug, you're looking at 10, 12 years before you get it on the market.
And
Now
how many people are dying
now
in the
phase
meantime?
one is just making sure when you swallow the drug it doesn't kill you, making sure it's safe, right?
Well, yeah.
And then the following phases make sure it does what it's supposed to do. So when you have somebody that's been given a 3-month diagnosis, say you're terminal, you've got nothing, I got nothing more that I can offer you, go home and prepare for your arrangements. This gives hope to some people that if there's a drug being investigated that may already be approved in another country already for the indication for which you're being treated,
right.
It's going to give you the opportunity to get that drug. It might be the silver bullet to save your life. It may not.
Well, this is a no-brainer.
But at least there's an alternative for you.
So how long is it going to take for this to become law so that those individuals, and I dodged the bullet, how many, I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people in the state of California that could benefit for this. So, like right now, come on, how long is it going to take?
Well, it's in the Assembly now where I hope it gets unanimously approved.
Yeah, well,
hopefully
it
the
should.
governor signs it.
You let me know if anybody votes against this.
I shall.
Okay? And then
It's
what?
January 1st. It becomes a law.
It's got to wait till January 1st,
January of
2016.
So we're only 6 months away.
Well, I guess that's moving pretty fast.
For government,
For
that's pretty
governments,
fast.
well, congratulations.
Thank you.
If you need any more media on this, you just let your office tell me, okay?
Thank you.
Because if you've had a close call, trust me, you want this.
I'll give you an example. Neuroblastoma, brain cancer.
Ooh.
Tumor of the brain. The tumor grows, it doubles in size every week. There's a new treatment now where you inject poliovirus into these tumors.
I read about that.
And they shrink. For a disease that was 100% fatal, we have now people that can sign up and get on this program and can save their
but
lives.
it's not yet FDA.
It is not FDA
but they
approved
can
yet,
do it.
But they can sign up.
Is the cost astronomical, or is this an affordable solution to a very horrible problem?
It's free.
Oh, thank God.
These drug companies really can't charge you because it's not an approved drug.
Okay,
so they have to agree.
Okay, you're a pharmacist.
Yes.
You're a doctor of pharmacy.
Yes.
Anybody out there that wants to know about these free trial drugs, you call me, phone number. I will get in touch with Jeff's staff, and we will get you the information that you need and get you the help if we can. We'll do everything we possibly can. This is a man who's a pharmacist. I mean, he's a doctor. He understands all. This is brilliant.
Thank you.
This is
It's going to help a lot
fabulous.
of people.
What have you
We get
done for
hope.
us lately? This is what he's done for us lately. The right to try. That is brilliant. Just thank you. All right, here's another one. Senator Stone to host Senior Scam Stopper. Senior Scam Stopper. And here's a sign that says Senior Scam Stopper. It's kind of a state license board. Well, you talk to maybe 50 or 60 people at a time about this. Okay, here's what I want you to do. A lot of people that are a little older get taken advantage of.
They do.
With the internet, telephone, somebody wants to talk. It's horrible. It's horrible what some of you people do to our older citizens. Horrible. You got to be ashamed of yourself, much less Well, I have some suggestions, but it wouldn't go well on the air. I am a commentator after all. Tell me, why don't you have your office send me a regular notice of what scams are going on? We'll put something together. We'll figure out how to get it on the air on a regular basis. I'll work with Time Warner and see if we can't air these as some kind of public service announcements or something, just to notify people.
Thank you.
So, you know, I mean, scams. How did you come up with this idea?
I did it as a county supervisor.
Oh, okay.
And so I wanted to bring it into the Senate realm where now we represent 1 million people instead of a half a million people. And there are just innovative ways in which our senior citizens get taken advantage of. As an example, somebody will call senior in the middle of the night and go, "Grandma, is that you?" "Yes, Johnny, what's going on?" "Yeah, this is Johnny. Grandma, I got a problem. I'm stuck in Mexico. They arrested me. I need $3,000. Please wire it." And they're doing it. And of course, we heard the Nigerian prince. I actually had a constituent that gave him $80,000, her life savings, online, and lost her home and became destitute. It's horrible.
Before you do anything over a telephone from a phone call from somebody that says basically, "I got a problem," or "I'm your relative," or "I'm your," don't do it. If it's not done in person from somebody that you know, that's the only way you can really stop this. And they have to be aware of it. So it's education, 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 education. Thank you. That's another good one.
Even my dad, who had Alzheimer's, he just recently passed away from Alzheimer's, but somebody came to his house and said, "We have a code enforcement issue because your paint is peeling on your house. We need to paint your house." And it was a very small house. He wrote him a check for $8,000. There was nothing we could do. He agreed to it. So what we did was we put a do not disturb sign on their front door, and we diverted all their telephone lines to us kids, so they couldn't get any telemarketing people to contact them because they have dementia.
And if you haven't got family, well, then you got a problem. And then it really is. I happen to believe it's the responsibility of every citizen to watch after those who are no longer capable of watching after themselves. Just being a good neighbor, a good person, and. This is good. So let's see if we can work together on this one.
Happy to.
Just get a little information out there. Okay, here's a good sounding one. You want to increase education funding. You know, can you throw more money after it to make it better? Can you use better the money they're getting?
Well, we have Prop 98. They're getting a lot of money actually right now. And you know, here we have the UCs that want to increase tuition by 5%. Which is, you know, paying for these inflated pensions that we're paying, inflated salaries. And so our legislature took a stand and said, no, we're not going to allow any tuition increases. And so far, they've agreed.
So basically
But what I want to see is we need more people in the vocational junior colleges. We've got to get people to learn how to become electricians and plumbers, construction people, because what we're finding in construction today is they can't find a qualified workforce. So what we're seeing in California and throughout the country is we're seeing that the middle class is shrinking. The upper class is growing in wealth, and the bottom is growing in poverty. But the middle class is disappearing in this country. And so we need more trade schools, more trade intervention in our junior colleges, and let's prepare people for today's modern economy. Technology, we have to embrace technology because computers, robots, you go into a restaurant today, you order on a tablet. We don't have stewardesses. We don't have waitresses anymore. People are getting, by use of technology, replaced. And so we need to better train our kids, the millennials, to cope with this technological revolution that we're seeing in this country.
Well, you're talking to me about a subject that I am adamant about, which is technical education. I went to school when they had technical education. I didn't get to take the one I wanted, which was shop, because I was a girl. But now I have my own lathe. So I am there with you, and I'm going to be doing a lot of programs on electrical, plumbing and pipe fitting, iron workers, how to get these jobs without having to pay for the education that is required of them. And you get to, it's called an apprenticeship program. They've been around since 1891, and you don't get any better at this when you've done it and been in business doing this for over 100 and some odd years. So we're talking vocational technical education or career technical CTE.
Right.
So you're really up on that.
Very much so. And the legislature is. And the legislature wants to see more money going to community colleges to offer these skills that are needed in the community. In other words, go out in the community and see what these employers are looking for, and then accommodate your curriculum to match that so that when these kids graduate, they have a job.
Well, your office apparently has done the research and says that there is a need for qualified, educated, licensed, card-carrying, licensed construction workers.
Yes.
And they are not there. Well, I hope to help to do something about that.
Not everybody wants to go to college to become a white-collar professional. People want to go to college and become blue-collar.
Oh.
They want to use their skills. They want, like you said, they want to learn how to fit pipes. We still build homes with pipes. We still build homes with copper wire.
Yes.
We need...
And on top of that, you're a doctor. You have a doctorate, successful. You could not get to work without an auto mechanic.
True.
You could not do your work without lights and power. So who's more important in this equation? The electrician, the auto mechanic, the plumber? Because without these services that we have in a civilized society, you wouldn't be a pharmacist, you wouldn't be a senator, and we wouldn't be a civilized society.
It's all these complementary professions and job descriptions that create opportunities for everyone. Not everyone, like I said, was designed to be a white-collar worker or a pharmacist. Some people want to be a pipe fitter. Some people want to be an electrician. Some people want to work in restaurants. Some people want to fly airplanes. I mean, everybody's got an interest, and that's why we have so many different jobs that exist in this country. But we're seeing those slim down now because of technology. And so we have to adapt to this new technology and train our millennials to compete not only nationally, but to compete globally in the world economy. And we have to, because China's advancing, South Korea is advancing, Taiwan is advancing. We have to compete with Japan and all these other countries, and we've got to invest in all forms of education, including technical careers.
Here's another good one. I like this one a lot. Right to try. We're going to put that up here. Right to try. It is a proposed law that you personally created, and I'm going to read this. It comes off the Stone Sentinel, which will give terminally ill Californians the chance to try drugs and treatments that have been safely tested but not yet approved by the FDA. What if you're just like, if you're just dying and you can say, hey, the hell with the safety thing, let's bring it on. I know I'd feel that way. I had a little scare not too long ago, and if I had needed treatment, let me tell you, come on, bring it down. I mean, you're a pharmacist, make something up for me, help me out here, I got nothing to lose. So is basically this right to try proposed law, how you doing with that?
We're doing good. It passed out of all of its committees unanimously. And just to let you know that the FDA, when you propose a new drug, you're looking at 10, 12 years before you get it on the market.
And how many people are dying in the meantime?
Phase one is just making sure when you swallow the drug it doesn't kill you, making sure it's safe, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the following phases make sure it does what it's supposed to do. So when you have somebody that's been given a 3-month diagnosis, say you're terminal, you've got nothing, I got nothing more that I can offer you, go home and prepare for your arrangements. This gives hope to some people that if there's a drug being investigated that may already be approved in another country already for the indication for which you're being treated, it's going to give you the opportunity to get that drug. It might be the silver bullet to save your life. It may not.
Well, this is a no-brainer.
But at least there's an alternative for you.
So how long is it going to take for this to become law so that those individuals, and I dodged the bullet, how many, I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people in the state of California that could benefit for this. So, like right now, come on, how long is it going to take?
Well, it's in the Assembly now, where I hope it gets unanimously approved.
Yeah, well,
hopefully the governor signs it.
You let me know if anybody votes against this.
I shall.
Okay? And then
it's January 1st. It becomes a law.
It's got to wait till January 1st,
January of 2016. So we're only 6 months away.
Well, I guess that's moving pretty fast.
For government, that's pretty fast.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
If you need any more media on this, you just let your office tell me, okay?
Thank you.
Because if you've had a close call, If, trust me, you want this.
I'll give you an example. Neuroblastoma, brain cancer.
Ooh.
Tumor of the brain. The tumor grows, it doubles in size every week. There's a new treatment now where you inject poliovirus into these tumors.
I read about that.
And they shrink. For a disease that was 100%
Right.
fatal, we have now people that can sign up and get on this program
Is
and
it,
can
is-
save their
but
lives.
it's not yet FDA.
It is
thingy,
not FDA
but
approved
they can
yet,
do it.
but they can sign up.
Is the cost astronomical, or is this an affordable solution to a very horrible problem?
It's free.
Oh, thank God.
These drug companies really can't charge you because it's not an approved drug.
Okay,
so
you're
they
the-
have to agree.
Okay, you're a pharmacist,
Yes.
you're a doctor of pharmacy.
Yes.
Anybody out there that wants to know about these free trial
Mm-hmm.
drugs, you call me, phone number. I will get in touch with Jeff's staff, and we will get you the information that you need and get you the help if we can. We'll do everything we possibly can. This is a man who's a pharmacist. I mean, he's a doctor. He understands all. This is brilliant.
Thank you.
This is
It's going to help a
fabulous.
lot of people.
What have you
And give
done for
hope.
us lately? This is what he's done for us lately. The right to try. That is brilliant. Just thank you.
You can feel and almost hear the echoes of time that hold the battles fought by the men and women who defended America during World War II. The Palm Springs Air Museum offers us the opportunity to touch history, hear the roar of the engines that powered America's armed forces into the age of combat flight. As a modern-day soldier walking through the history of this bygone war, I have come to realize that soldiers, such as myself, serve and fight under far different circumstances. Today, our families have peace of mind, unimagined by those back home during World War II. We have the gift of communications. Following battles that threaten our lives every day, we are able to call, email, or text home. Unless you have been there as a soldier or the family of a soldier, it is hard to imagine the importance of this contact. We also have, by comparison, relatively short tours of duty. I think of what it must have been like for the soldiers that flew these planes, drove the tanks and marched the fields of battle, to be away from home continuously for years, often with little or no communication for months at a time. Letters, a handwritten letter, placed in an envelope, had to travel by land, sea, and air. Nothing was instant. Following the news of a major battle where thousands of men were killed in action, families waited in anguish to hear if their loved one was still alive. The only message received following the days or weeks of a battle was when a government car drove up to the home of a soldier and announced that he had died. When no service personnel were available due to the overwhelming number of those killed in action, the news was delivered by telegram. Bodies of dead soldiers came home following weeks, months, or years. Many have yet to come home. As a combat wounded veteran who served and fought in Afghanistan, I am more than lucky and ever so grateful. I have returned home to my wife and 2 little daughters. I'm going to work and wake up every morning knowing that I can support my family and support my fellow Purple Heart veterans. And for those soldiers who died in battle, their families hold their hearts. As I continue to serve them in any way I can, as commander of the Palm Springs Military Order of the Purple Heart, chapter number 755, named in honor of my friend who fought and died in Iraq, Private First Class Ming Sun. I am Justin Gardner, and I served.